Ezra Chapter 6. Then King Darius issued a decree, and a search was conducted in the archives where the treasures were kept in Babylon. In the palace located in the province of Media, at a place called Achmetha, a scroll was found. The contents of this scroll were as follows. In the first year of Cyrus the king, Cyrus himself issued a decree concerning the house of God in Jerusalem. He decreed that the temple should be rebuilt, the place where sacrifices were offered, and its foundations should be firmly laid. The dimensions of the temple were to be 60 cubits in height and 60 cubits in width, with 3 rows of large stones and 1 row of new timber. The expenses for this project were to be provided from the royal treasury. Additionally, Cyrus decreed that the gold and silver vessels of the house of God, which had been taken by Nebuchadnezzar from the temple in Jerusalem and brought to Babylon, should be returned and placed in the temple in Jerusalem, each in its designated place. Therefore, Tatnai, the governor on this side of the river, Shethar-boznai, and your fellow officials, the Apharsachites who are on this side of the river, keep away from there. Let the work on this house of God proceed. Let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews rebuild this house of God on its original site. Furthermore, I hereby decree that you are to provide support to these elders of the Jews for the construction of this house of God. They should be given funds from the king's treasury, from the taxes collected in the province beyond the river, so that the work is not hindered. They are to receive daily whatever is needed, young bulls, rams, and lambs for the burnt offerings to the God of heaven, as well as wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the request of the priests in Jerusalem, so that they can offer sacrifices pleasing to the God of heaven and pray for the life of the king and his sons. If anyone alters this decree, let a beam be pulled from his house, and let him be impaled on it. And let his house be turned into a pile of rubble for this offense. May the God whose name resides there overthrow any king or people who attempts to change or destroy this house of God in Jerusalem. I, Darius, have issued this decree. Let it be carried out promptly. Tatnai, the governor on this side of the river, Shethar-boznai, and their associates promptly carried out the orders that King Darius had sent. As a result, the elders of the Jews continued building and prospered through the prophecies of Haggai the prophet and Zechariah the son of Iddo. They completed the construction according to the commandment of the God of Israel, as well as the decrees of Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes, kings of Persia. The construction of this house was completed on the 3rd day of the month Adar, in the 6th year of the reign of King Darius. The children of Israel, the priests, the Levites, and the rest of the exiles celebrated the dedication of this house of God with joy. During the dedication, they offered 100 bulls, 200 rams, and 400 lambs, along with 12 male goats for a sin offering on behalf of all Israel, according to the number of the tribes of Israel. They appointed the priests in their divisions and the Levites in their courses for the service of God in Jerusalem, following the instructions recorded in the book of Moses. The children of the captivity observed the Passover on the 14th day of the 1st month. The priests and Levites had purified themselves together, and all were ceremonially clean. They slaughtered the Passover lamb for all the exiles, for their fellow priests, and for themselves. The children of Israel who had returned from captivity and all who had separated themselves from the impurity of the nations of the land to seek the Lord God of Israel ate the Passover. They joyfully kept the Feast of Unleavened Bread for 7 days because the Lord had filled them with joy and had turned the heart of the king of Assyria toward them, so that he supported their work on the house of God, the God of Israel.